Yes, guys, apologies for not posting in the past few days. Been busy with so many things, but I'm back here today for another World Cup reaction show. So I'm gonna react to all four games today, and I'll try to do it for every single week. I'll definitely try to do it for tomorrow. But let's just talk about the game that just happened right now, the 7 o'clock game. We're gonna run through all four of the games today. But let's talk about the last game that just happened today. 7 o'clock game, Portugal versus Uruguay. The game finished 2-0 to Portugal, and what can I really say about the game? I felt before the goal, both teams were very, very cagey, kind of scared to lose it. Bentancur had that one opportunity where he gets it, somehow breaks through the Portuguese defense and kind of panics and hits it straight at the goalkeeper. If he had just had a bit of more composure to rather take it around him or lift it over him, Uruguay would have took the lead. But again, both teams to me didn't show enough to really take the lead. But then you get a moment of genius when you have the quality of players in this game. From Uruguay's point of view, you got your Edison Cavani's, Darwin Núñez, Freddy Valverde's, and Portugal's side you got a man like Cristiano Ronaldo, Bruno Fernandes, João Felix, and then but like we had both of Ronaldo and Bruno Fernandes combine ball into the box. Ronaldo glances it. Now there's a big confusion of whose goal is it. Is it Ronaldo's goal? Is it Bruno Fernandes' goal? It's been given to Bruno Fernandes now from what I've seen. But personally, I'm giving that to Ronaldo because he probably got I'm probably a hair. But the biggest thing for me is that he impacts the goal. Because if he's not there, that goal doesn't go in there. So I'm giving it to Ronaldo. But if FIFA says Bruno Fernandes, we'll give it to Bruno Fernandes. But the one thing about it is that this game really needed a goal. It got the goal. And then you've seen a good reaction from Uruguay. They had three great, amazing opportunities to get back into the game. Luis Suarez, he's passed it. Goodness gracious me! But he found himself in a great situation in front of goal and just shoots it wide on his left foot. They then hit the post and then they get another 1v1. This in a short space of time, and you're thinking Uruguay with the sort of attacking talent you have there, they weren't able to capitalize on it. And Portugal go back on the other end, they get the penalty. People are saying, is it a penalty? Is it not a penalty? My thing for this is that, first of all, let me explain to you guys who haven't really seen it. Fernandes nutmegs the player. And as he nutmegs the player, the defender has his hand down and the ball hits off the defender's hand. The referee lets the game go on and VAR calls him take a look and he decides it's a penalty. And I'm hearing people saying it's a bad decision from the referee. I don't think so. Because if I'm an attacker, yeah, and I've just done the player because that's what Bruno Fernandes did. He does the player, yeah, and he's going straight through on goal for a clean shot or a clean one-on-one opportunity with the goalkeeper, and he's impeded by the defender. I know it was probably by accident, but he's still impeded. If that was on the line and his hand was there, yeah, and he blocked it on the line, but think about it, he didn't mean it. What are we going to say? Are we not going to give it? Of course we're going to give it. To me, in that situation there, because of the circumstance of Bruno Fernandes is going directly through on goal, for me, it's a penalty. It was rightfully given. There's a lot of controversy around the Fernandes gets it, scores, so he gets a double and probably should have got a hat-trick there. But fair play to Portugal because they're never gonna blow you away with the type of talent that they have there. It's not something that you're gonna sit there with Portugal and you're gonna be like, wow. But they find the way to get the job done, and like what it looks like now, they're probably going to finish top of the group, depending on what happens with Ghana. Depending of obviously what happens with Ghana, a big swing of goals is gonna stop them from finishing top of the group. But they are through, and that's a huge thing for them. Fair play to them. It's not pretty, but they're getting the job done. And if you're Uruguay, last game's going to be huge. But let's talk about the other game in group, I think is it Group H? It was Ghana versus South Korea. Another enthralling game. The 10 o'clock game and like 1 o'clock game was something absolutely special. South Korea guys started very, very well. They really troubled Ghana and like really pinned them back, but set piece happens. Bit of a muddle. It hits off Andre Ayew's hand, and again, because the way the rules are, if he doesn't directly score from it, the goal was given. It hits off his hand in like somebody else hits it in. Mohammed hits it in Ghana, take the league, and fair play to them. After that, they were able to show to me a great reaction after kind of just getting like, after, I wouldn't say getting dominated, but getting outplayed in the first 20 minutes. Another and then they get the second goal from a great ball in from Jordan Ayew and Kudus, who in my eyes, if you're looking at all the clubs in Europe right now, he's going to be a player that they're going to be looking at. Ajax, they always get rated for their players, and he just might be another one. You know, he takes it, phenomenal header, just like a little glance like Ronaldo just got, but his one was a bit more clear, and you're thinking, whew, they're gonna cruise, like they're gonna, cruise through this. But fair play to South Korea, man. You know, that second half comeback was unbelievable. And after thinking about it, they got their two goals from wide areas, crossing the ball in an amazing header. I'm not gonna pronounce his name because I don't want to butcher it, but I'll put his name down here somewhere. Or guys, just Google it. Great header from the player, and you're thinking here, after just scoring these two goals, 30 minutes left, Ghana really look shaky. Ghana look on the ropes. You're thinking North Korea might win this 3-4-2, but Ghana, to me, shown great mental strength after losing that lead. 7 minutes later, Kudus does it again, a missed kick by Inaki Williams. He gets his goal. He takes it phenomenally because the ball's just coming at it, and his ability just guide it back where the ball is coming from, using the inside of his foot, was absolutely brilliant there. And fair to South Korea, they're probably upset that they did not take something from this game, because after that, it was all them. It was chances. It was blocks. Like Ghana, they threw the kitchen sink it Ghana, and if it wasn't for great individual defending and players putting their bodies on line, the goalkeeper, and also the Ghana goalkeeper making some amazing stops, we could have been having a whole completely different story here. But fair play to Ghana, another African team getting a win after Morocco. And I think, did Tunisia get a win? I gotta clarify that, but again, another African team getting a win, so a little smile on my face. Yes, they did knock Nigeria out of it, but it's good to see an African team do well, and I would love to see them in the next in the knockout stages. But with this result, and obviously the Portugal Uruguay result, it's all set up for a Uruguay Ghana shootout, just like in 2010, yeah, in different circumstances. This time you're trying to get into knockout stages. That time you're trying to get into the semi-final. And is it going to be a Ghana revenge, or will Luis Suarez come on and somehow find a way to haunt Ghana? I can't wait for that. That is going to be enthralling. Both teams literally have to go out there for the win. Ghana a little bit more or less, because I think a draw would do them, obviously depending on what happens with the Portugal South Korea game. But again, it's going to be enthralling final games of Group H. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. Now let's move on to Group G, and let's talk about the Brazilians. A lot of people's favorites to win it. Here's a game that, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really get to catch all of it. I literally seen the highlights, on my analysis isn't as great of it. I was coaching, guys, apologies. But yeah, the Brazilians with a late Casemiro goal helps them take 6 points in this in Group G and sees them going through. And it looks like, from the point of view of Brazil get a late goal, I think Switzerland frustrated them and made it difficult for them. Yes, they did to a certain point, but when you actually look at the chances created on the Brazilian side, a lot of opportunities there on another day. If players like Vinicius gets his head on, or like even Richarlison gets onside, it's a whole completely different issue there. My disappointment from this game is Switzerland, in my opinion, not going at Brazil. And yes, you don't want to be embarrassed and all that sort of stuff there, but you've seen teams who, you see the reward for teams who actually have the what to go at teams. And I do believe another day, if they would have went at Brazil, it could have been a little bit different. But as we said on a number of occasions, this Brazilian quality is incredible, and this is back-to-back games right now that they faced two very good European teams in Serbia and Switzerland, and they have not faced a shot on target yet. So basically, like Alisson Becker has not had to make a save so far in the World Cup in 180 minutes. Obviously, plus you know how long the added time is. You're talking about 200 minutes without facing a shot on target. To me, is quite impressive for this Brazil team. And to be fair, it comes off as not the most glamorous Brazil team from the point of view you're seeing marauding fullbacks. You know, you're seeing your center mid, those sub strikers going off. It's a very type European style Brazilian team, but obviously with the South America flair mixed in there with players like Vinicius and Neymar and Rafinha in there. But it isn't the most glamorous team from like the Samba years gone by. But it's a team that when you look at on paper, and especially what they're doing on the pitch, it's going to be a tough out for any team, and especially Brazil has had major problems with European teams lately. I think the last 4 times that they've been knocked out has been from European teams. They've kind of adopted a bit more of that European flair too. So it's definitely going to be something that they're going to look at. And I'm not going to be the guy to come here, guys, and say, oh, Brazil look better without Neymar, because I don't believe that. They are better without Neymar. They're going to need Neymar to win this tournament. So hopefully his ankle heals and we can get him back on the pitch. But again, for Brazil, they go on and on. I think they might need a point to finish top of the group, so they're definitely going to want to get the job done there. But let's talk about the first game of the day, and that was Cameroon versus Uruguay. And to me personally, the game of the day, and arguably probably the game of the tournament from the point of view of the entertainment purposes of this. When I think about it, when I look at the game, it was another game that Cameroon kind of scored off the run of play a bit like Ghana. They take the lead and you're thinking, okay, here they're gonna kick on. Had opportunities, didn't really take it, and then Serbia just go off. You know, you had goals from Mitrovic, Milinkovic, Savic, and you're thinking here 3-1. This might get ugly. You know, with like 53 minutes gone, like Cameroon are all over the place. I was I was shocked that they only got in to halftime 2-1 down, because they were really on the ropes after a good 20-30 minutes, and it just got a little bit ugly from them. And then out of nowhere they make a change, bring on Aboubakar. If you have followed the African nations, he was the top goal scorer there, and he was very, very impressive. And he was in when I seen him on the bench, I was like, what is this guy doing there? He was a captain. He was he was a guy that made a big difference for this Cameroon team. But he comes off the bench, and the impact he made in them 30 minutes that he was on the field was absolutely incredible. He was able to break the offside trap twice. The first goal, and it wasn't even just the first goal and also assisting the second goal. It was before that. There was a few times where he's getting it. He's dropping 2 or 3 Serbian players. He's hitting them with nutmegs, and he's getting in, and then Serbia are able to get a block on. But he was able to be very direct from the point of view of his runs. Twice he times it to perfection, catching out the fullback who was able to play him onside on a number of occasions. He goes through. The first goal is nasty. It is incredible. Like the composure, the ability to lift it over to them, the ability to get that delicate touch for it to come down fast enough before it hits a crossbar. Fantastic from him. Second goal, the awareness to see where a player like Chuba Moten is and like square it to him. And after you get that, you're thinking they're gonna kick on and win this. And they had their opportunities, but on the other end, Serbia had their opportunities. But it makes me feel like, I know Jack was a big fan of Serbia and what they were capable to do in this competition. For a team where I mentioned about, they said this is the best team that they've had. Yes, the names look great, but it just doesn't seem to gel right now. This was a game to me that you can't drop points in this game. You can't end up with a draw after you taking a 3-1 lead and looking like you're going to score 4 and 5. It was, to me, defensively, they were all over the place. You know, from the point of view, the biggest thing for me is that line. You know, the fact that everybody's pushed up there, and then like you have your foot, and then like you have your fullback as a deepest man, and like he plays Aboubakar on a number of occasions. That's quite frustrating. If you're a centre back, you might have to speak to him to kind of tuck him in there. But the biggest thing is that they were just unable to, get over the line there. And for all that quality, I'm not sure that they're about it. Yeah, they might have to come up with a bit of a miracle to beat Switzerland, because when I look for quality, yes, it's an even game, but I feel Switzerland, the fact that they've been to the World Cup on a number of occasions and have players who've performed in like big tournaments like they have in the Euros, that's my biggest thing that might push them over the edge when they do play Serbia. But Serbia, they're gonna need their big guys to step up. Players like Vlahovic, I don't know where he's been this tournament. Mitrovic, Milinkovic, Savic, you're gonna need more from them, and like a bit more gall for the rest of the team right now. But hats off to Cameroon. The character to come back was massive there. And if you're somebody like Aboubakar, if he's not in the starting 11 for the final game against Brazil, Cameroon, you might as well just riot. But overall, guys, another fantastic day of football. This is the final day that we're gonna get 4 games a day. We're going into final games of the groups stages, so you're gonna get a lot of games playing. You're gonna have a lot of games that are simultaneously going on because of the way they don't want teams cheating on, or teams already know a result, so they might take it easy in their game. So both teams are going to be playing at the same time, so there's a lot to play for. I think in the majority of groups, I don't think every group is decided for, especially in the England group right now. There's a lot to fight for there. I think everybody still has a chance in the England group to go through, and I think it's like that for a fair few groups. But guys, tell me what you think about all 4 of these games today. Going into the final games, if you're a Cameroonian, Ghanaian, Serbian, Brazilian, Portuguese, Uruguay, comment down below. Let me know, does your team have the ability to go through, or will they go through? Of course, we know Brazilians, you guys already through. Tell me, can you guys win without Neymar? Can you win it all without Neymar? And Portugal, can you and Cristiano Ronaldo go all the way? Comment down below, guys. I forgot to say it again. Please, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. This is Box to Box Football by myself again. I'm gonna have to speak to Jack. Jack, where are you at? We need Jack, guys. Petition, comment down below. Let us know, where is Jack? This is Box to Box Football, and we will see you next time.